Hello everyone and welcome to a session on digital marketing plan. Today you're going to be learning about how to put together your digital marketing plan, and this is all based on what you learned in previous session of this course. For example, you will be applying whatever you learned on internet and digital marketing strategy in session 2. Also, you will be using tools that you used in session on online marketing research tools. Then you will be applying tools that you used in web analytics session, etc., etc. So before you start, may I recommend to maybe even stop this tape and review quickly your slides from pretty much all chapters. Just quickly review them, refresh your memory, particularly once again chapters on strategy, on research, and on web analytics, but also email marketing, SEO, PPC, and everything. Just quickly review those chapters, and then this particular lesson is going to be much easier for you. So let's get started. If you remember a session on internet marketing strategy, we defined 6 stages of a strategic marketing process, starting with a vision and situation analysis, objectives, strategies and tactics, implementation, evaluation, and control. Well, today actually I'm going to bring to your attention another model. This model is particularly suitable when you put together your digital marketing plan or any marketing plan, and it's called SOSTAC model. It's developed by Paul R. Smith, and it's based on the acronym SOSTAC, which actually stands for, as you can see, situation analysis, objective, strategy, tactics, action, and control. What is the difference compared to the previous model? So as you can see here, we are starting with a vision, and here in the SOSTAC model, vision is actually being put into the objective section. Also, strategies and tactics from this model are being separated into 2, strategy and tactics. And finally, instead of using the word implementation, Paul Smith is using the term action, which actually is the same, and it creates nice acronym SOSTAC. And you can use this SOSTAC model to create any marketing plan, and also very importantly, you might want to create just a fraction of your digital marketing plan, say for example mobile marketing plan or social media marketing plan, and you can still use the same SOSTAC structure. So if you go to prsmith.org/SOSTAC, you can learn more about this particular planning system. And I have to say that this planning system has been adopted by many companies, also has been recommended by one of the leading experts, Dave Chaffee. And on Dave Chaffee's website, you can see the URL here, you can download a number of free templates and digital marketing strategy tools. Also, I want to bring to your attention another tool that you might find useful. It's developed by a company called mPlans, one of the leading marketing plan software tools. I have found on their website a particular example of e-commerce, what they call e-commerce retail marketing plan for a hypothetical company called Nature's Candy. I'm now on their website reviewing the sample plan. As you can see, it starts with executive summary. It is followed by situation analysis with some nice charts about demographic trends and market growth, etc. And then this is followed by SWOT analysis. And in the next chapter, marketing strategy. Then we have financials and controls. So you can see slightly different structure. You can also purchase this tool for $129, I believe. And once again, this is an online tool. It guides you through the process, and I believe it creates various charts and graphs for you. So if you just don't have time, you might want to choose to purchase their tool. But keep in mind that they have pretty much general marketing plan templates, and they don't focus particularly on digital marketing plans. So having said that, I have developed my own kind of template with a cover page, as you can see here. and with a certain structure: executive summary, introduction, situation analysis, very similar like a SOS stack model, strategy, tactics, action, and finally evaluation and control. And I will now show you this Word document that I have uploaded on the course website. You can open this Word document and just fill in the blanks in this template. You will tweak the cover page, and then you can see here the executive summary with a couple of hints and thoughts guiding you through the process, giving you an idea of what you are actually supposed to write about, followed by the introduction and the situation analysis, some tips here, and the structure. So your job is to fill in the blanks. You have objectives here, and the strategy, recommended structure, tactics, action, and finally evaluation and control. I have to say, however, that in the real-life scenario, your plan will differ from this particular format. So you're kind of free to alter the format so that it works for your needs. So let's review this template. Let's review the digital marketing plan one section at a time. The first section of your plan is always executive summary. This is where you describe your key findings and recommendations regarding your digital marketing program. This part of the document should be kept very short, sometimes just one page or up to maximum 2 to 3 pages. And as you know, it's best to do that at the very end once you write the whole plan, and it's kind of easier to summarize all your key findings and key recommendations. Key findings from your situation analysis, for example, and key recommendations from the strategy and tactics and implementation section of your document. The second question is your introduction. This is where you describe why you decided to create this plan, perhaps to improve your overall business, or to secure bank loan, or to attract new investors, maybe launch new products online, etc. So make sure to provide the main reason why you decided to put together this plan. In the second point of this section on introduction, you also, very importantly, need to write about your company, background information. Note that this is different from executive summary. This is where you write about the current state of your business, not about the recommended future state of your business. So this is where you will write about your company, its history very briefly, offline and online business, key products and services, customers, and about your overall marketing strategy. The section on introduction should be again kept short, probably again 1, 2, 3 pages, depending on the real need. Section 2 should be followed by a situation analysis. And note that now in the coming chapters we are going to answer 3 fundamental questions for the strategic planning, and they are: where are we now? That's the question that we are dealing with in the section 3, and then later we are going to be dealing with the question: where do we want to be, and how do we get there? So for the time being, let's discuss where are we now, situation analysis. And one way to do that would be by conducting a 5C analysis of the environment and the company. That's where we will discuss the customers and the environment and context and all the STEP, social, technology, economic and political factors, competition, and our own company, its strengths and weaknesses, resources and capabilities, and finally collaborators, distributors, partners, agencies, and suppliers. However, I have to say that this 5C analysis, according to many experts, should always start with the most important, and that's customers, market segments, and target markets. Once you do the 5C analysis, you can proceed and do a SWOT analysis. You can do it in a point form, or you can do it in a table. That's where you will, whatever you learned from the 5C's analysis, you will put in a SWOT format. This can be followed by a website report card. We have dealt with website report card in our session on online marketing research and web analytics. This is just a part of a website visibility report card sample, and you can find a template for website report card on the course website. So filling in the blanks here specific to companies' traffic rank and search engine rank and everything else really gives a great idea in terms of where's the company's website right now. So that's website report card, and it belongs to situation analysis. And finally, don't forget to offer some conclusions, offer some key insights, whatever you learned about your key opportunities or maybe your key concerns. In section 4, you will be describing your objectives. In other words, the second of the 3 central planning questions, where do we want to be? This is where you can put your vision as well, but also your SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely objectives for your digital marketing. You will put your objectives when it comes to your profit, your financials, your sales, a number of new customers, for example, and the conversion rate on your website, traffic that you plan to get on your site, what kind of search engine rank, for example, and overall website visibility you plan to achieve, and also your promotion objectives, and perhaps some other objectives specific to your business. It's very important, however, to align your objectives or to cascade your objectives so that they're all related. Start with the desired key end goal, such as specific increase in profit and sales, and then work backwards and figure out how many customers and orders do you need in order to achieve your sales and profit. So once again, start with the big picture, start with the ultimate goal in profit and sales, and then try to figure out how many customers and online orders do you need in order to get there. Once you figure out how many customers do you need, then ask yourself, what kind of traffic do I need on my site in order to get that many orders? So it's all related and you're working backwards. And finally, what kind of website visibility and promotion will bring me the desired traffic? So once again, start with the profit and sales, then think about customers and orders, traffic, target traffic, and website visibility and promotion. That will become more clear if I just give you an example of a target profit of $10,000 per year or per month. And in order to achieve that target profit of $10,000, you will probably need a sales of maybe $20,000 or $50,000 depending on your profit margin. If your profit margin is 20%, you will need $50,000. So if you suppose that in average your online order is worth, say, $200, then you will need 250 customers, 250 times 200 average order, to bring you $50,000 in additional sales. And these $50,000 in additional sales are going to bring you $10,000 in profit. But the question is, how do you get those 250 new customers? So that's the next question. And you might want to start with your expected conversion rate. In other words, the percentage of people who come to your website who take desired action and make a purchase. So if we suppose that this conversion rate is 1%, then by dividing the number of new customers, which is 250, by 1%, we can calculate how much extra website traffic we will need in order to achieve our targets. In our example, we need 25,000 website visits, as you can see here. To get 250 new customers, we will need overall 25,000 new visits on our website per period. And the next question is, yes, but how do we get those 25,000 new people on our website? And that's where the search engine optimization matters. That's where you will set your search engine rank goals. For example, you might want to be among the top 10 results on Google search engine rank, or you might also need a certain number of mentions and followers in social media, number of incoming links, number of social media posts, number of emails that you plan to send, number of visits from your PPC campaigns, etc., etc. So this is where you set your sort of promotional objectives that will lead you to 25,000 new visits every single period. So as you can see, once again, we work backwards. We start with the desired profit and then figure out what kind of sales and number of new customers, traffic and website visibility we need to achieve our profit targets. Once we have done situation analysis and once we have defined our objectives, the big question is, how will we get there? So that's when the third central strategic planning question comes into play. Strategy is, according to Porter, how you plan to achieve and sustain a competitive advantage. Once again, Porter defines strategy as a way of achieving and sustaining a competitive advantage. Strategy defines how we plan to achieve our objectives and goals, how do we plan to respond to opportunities and threats in the environment, and how do we plan to outcompete rivals in the long run. As you remember, marketing strategy is all about S, T, and P. It's that simple. That's the core of marketing strategy. STP, which stands for segmenting, targeting, and positioning. In this section on strategy, you will actually answer the 7 key strategic decisions as mentioned earlier in this course. And those 7 key strategic decisions and questions have been listed here. They are: what are your market segments? Which segments do you want to target? What's your positioning strategy? Your competitive strategy? Your SWOT strategies based on the SWOT analysis done before? Your product market strategies? And finally, your revenue model strategy. So what I did, I basically mirrored those 7 questions. What I did, I just merged question 1 and 2 in 5.1, and at the end, summary entitled Keys to Success. In other words, the most important insights from this whole section on strategy, your keys to success. So maybe in your case, the key to success would be, number 1, having a better and more interactive website. Number 2, being more active in social media. And number 3, advertising on Google. So whatever your keys to success are, you need to list them here in a section, concluding section of the session 5. So now let's just try to see what belongs to each of these sections in more detail. We've already actually dealt with that. You remember an example of market segmentation for online accounting software. So what you need to do in this particular part of your plan is to think about your overall market and try to describe different segments of your market, like for example here, home and family use of accounting software, and then we have small businesses, medium-sized businesses, large businesses, and you have to list all your market segments based on whatever criteria, and at the end of the day you have to decide, okay, which segment is the most suitable and the most important for my business. So once again, this is where you think about different market segments, you describe your customer, and you have to choose your target markets. The next question is, how do you want to position your business and your online marketing, perhaps even your website? This is where you might want to use perceptual map based on different criteria. That's something that we have covered before as well, based on different attributes. And you need to chart where are you versus your competition in order to try to find some opportunities for your successful positioning strategy. The next part of this section deals with your competitive strategy, and as you remember, according to Porter, Your marketing strategy or online marketing strategy can be based on cost leadership, or your brand differentiation, or a focus, or based on a hybrid strategy, which is a combination of differentiation and cost leadership. So you have to decide how are you going to compete. The next key question when it comes to your strategy is your SWOT strategy. In other words, based on the SWOT analysis that you did before in the situation analysis section, this is where you can kind of try to combine your opportunities and threats with your strengths and weaknesses, and trying to find a strategy that would make a maximum use of strengths and opportunities. That would be an aggressive strategy, or like in the case of redesign strategy, you will want to minimize your weaknesses and maximize your opportunities. The example has been given before. We are dealing with a company that has decided to be aggressive in a sense that they will want to advertise on Google locally and internationally, and they also have some defensive strategies outlined here, and all their strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats that have been identified during the situation analysis, they're being put here. And in this stage of your strategic plan, you are now actually trying to fill in the blanks in this white field. In other words, you're trying to find your responses to various combination of strengths and opportunities, weaknesses and threats. Another tool that you can use is product market strategies. So at this stage you need to have a look at your products, existing products and possibly new products and markets, and try to assess how you can use internet to expand. So one more time, this is the outline of your section 5 on strategy. Section 6 deals with tactics, or the details of your strategy. So this is where you provide more details about your section 5 on strategy. So not to confuse you, in section 5 you dealt with hows, so the main strategies or ways how you plan to accomplish your objectives. In the section 6 you need to be much more specific. You need to focus on what actions do you need to take to successfully implement your strategy. So the focus is on what, and it's mostly on the short term. Your section on tactics will deal with online marketing mix, which is, by the way, considered mostly as a tactical decision, so the 4 P's. Then it will deal with the new website content, structure and functionality. It will deal with other activities such as search engine optimization or advertising, social media, email marketing, mobile marketing, etc. So the first step is to think about your marketing mix, about your 4 P's. Can you change your 4 P's in any way to more successfully compete on the internet? For example, you might want to change your product, or you might want to change your distribution, or you might want to open new distribution channels, or you can try new pricing models, etc. So basically, this is where you have another look at your 4 P's and try to establish how you can use those 4 P's in some new ways when it comes to competing in the digital world. The next step is to think about your content, about your site structure and functionality of your website. And by functionality I mean, what do you want people to do on your website? Perhaps you want to enable search on your website. Perhaps you want them to sign up for your e-newsletter. Perhaps you want them to log in. Perhaps you want them to participate in discussions. Or you want them to submit their own comments and thoughts or URLs or videos. So think about the functionality of your website. What do you want people to be able to do on your website? At this stage, you need to think about creating your website prototype, which includes a website map, wireframe, and the visual layout of your future website. Website map, as mentioned before in this course, website wireframe, identifying the layout of any particular page of your website, and even the visual look of your future website, where you can use Photoshop or you can use websites with templates like Wix or even WordPress. After defining your website content, structure and functionality, you will need to deal with promotional activities like SEO, online advertising, social media marketing, email marketing, mobile marketing. You need to recommend activities in the domain of a promotion that are going to actually help you achieve your strategies. And make sure to use visuals such as SEO tables, screenshots of your future PPC campaign setup, etc. So this is section 6. Section 7 deals with implementation or action. In other words, you need to describe how you will put this plan into action. Some authors argue that you need to use the 3M model here. In other words, you need to deal with men and women, with money and minutes. Minutes stands for time schedules, money stands for budget, and men and women stands for people and skills that you need in order to put this plan into action. So you will want to describe what kind of skills and various job titles, organizational structures and systems do you need in place in order to succeed, and who will be responsible to conduct each activity. What kind of money or budget do you need for various activities, and what time frame do you need for each activity? Again, to be more professional and to improve clarity, make sure to use visuals such as tables or Gantt charts. Here's an example of a Gantt chart being used for one of the projects that my company did before when we dealt with a website development and database development project. Or you can just use a very simple kind of Excel or PowerPoint table where you identify different activities and start time, deadline, who is responsible, and what kind of cost or budget you expect to be related to any particular activity. Of course, you can continue this list. This is just an example, but you can continue with more activities, and that's really your action plan. So once again, this section deals with your skills, structures and systems, with the budget, and finally with the action plan. And finally, section 8, evaluation and control. Here is where you will find ways to track your performance over time and to monitor your progress. You need to know if you are successful or not. Say, for example, every single month you want to have a look at your accomplishments and to compare it with your plan. And you have to have a clear idea what kind of mechanisms you will be using in order to monitor your progress. That's where it's very helpful to define your so-called KPIs or key performance indicators. They will help you align against your objectives and they will help you stay on track. Typical KPIs when it comes to website marketing and digital marketing could be, and these are just examples, could be your monthly website traffic, then sales. Are you achieving your target sales every single month? Are you achieving your conversion rate of whatever the plan was, maybe 1% or less? Are you getting your new orders and new customers every single month? Are you being active on social media? You might, for example, want to have 100 new social media connections every single month. And another example, monthly advertising costs. You know that you budgeted maybe $2,500 per month, and you need to make sure that you are actually spending according to your budget plan. So your evaluation and control section might have two parts. 1, 8.1, describing the process. In other words, short background information, how you will plan to do evaluation and control, who is going to do it, when, and finally a list of all KPIs. So this is your digital marketing plan. I've given you some insights in terms of the format of the plan and in terms of the content, but once again I have to say that no two marketing plans are the same, and you have to tailor your plan to your needs. And at the end, let me offer my final tip when it comes to digital marketing plan. And the tip is just to get started. Get started ASAP. Download that digital marketing plan Word template and just start putting some of your own thoughts into various sections of that plan. You can do it in a point form. So just list your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats, for example, in the situation analysis, or some thoughts about the 5 C's, about your competition, or any thoughts as they come to your mind. Just put it in a point form in your document, and then later on you can start writing the full version of your digital marketing plans. And one more thing, remember that digital marketing plan needs to be updated on a regular basis. Things change, your competition change, your capabilities change, the environment changes, so you have to update your digital marketing plan as often as possible. Thank you for watching and keep learning.